So the first thing you're going to start is by creating your navigation. So you're going to write nav, and within it you're going to create a div, and I'm going to name this div to with a class name of logo, and this div is going to be the one holding my logo. It's either I put image or I put text. In this case, I'm going to insert my text here of Code Dev Academy. So below this logo, I'm going to create on other list items. So the first thing I'm going to create, I'm going to give this a home. So I'm going to copy this here and paste it 3 times. The second one, I'm going to make it to be service. The third one is going to be language. And I want also to create 2 buttons. So I'm going to write button here. The first one is going to be for sign up, and the second one is going to be for sign out, or let's say sign in. So that's actually all I need for now. So I'm going to come to my CSS file right now. I'm going to write my general style here. So I'm going to make a margin to be 0, and my padding also I want it to be 0. I'm going to make box sizing to be border box. And I have some bullet points here. As you can see here, I'm having some bullet points here. This is my dot, and I want to take them with a property called list style, and I'm going to make it to be none. Now I'm having this. So apart from that, I'm going to make my font style to be system UI. So after having the font style, I'm going to start outline of none. Outline to be none, and I believe that's all. So what I'm going to target now is the body, which the body I'm going to give it a width of 100 VH. I'm going to give it a height of 100 VH, and I'm going to give it a background image for the body, which I have some images here in my folder here. I have a folder images, and I have an image here. So I'm going to use this image. So let me take this out. So let me go back to my CSS here. Now I'm going to insert my URL. I'm going to go into my images folder and click on this my image and save. Now this is actually my image. So I'm going to make it to be background repeat of no repeat, and I'm going to use object fit. Object fit, I'm going to make it to be cover because I want it to cover. So after having object fit to be cover, I believe that's all for my body. So what I'm going to do now is to target my navigation, which is my nav, and give it a background color. I'm going to give it a background color of black, and I'm going to make the text color to be white. And when I save here, now I'm having a background color of black, a text color of white, and I'm going to make them to be display flex. A display flex. Now I'm having flex items, and I'm going to make it an align item of center. Align item of center, and I'm going to make a justify content to be spaced between. Now this is actually all I'm having. So I'm done with my nav. So I'm going to come down and target this my list items with this side of my items here. So I'm going to write now, and I'm going to target the appearance container, which is UL. So within this way, I'm going to say display flex because now I want them also to be flex items. So I'm going to say display flex. Now they are going to be flex items, and I'm going to say gap. I'm going to give space between them of 1 rem. Now I'm having space between them of 1 rem. If I open it in a beta page, this is actually all I'm having here. If I take it back to the normal page, or let me take it to be 0.5 rem, it looks good. So now I'm going to target my list items. So I'm going to write nav here, and I'm going to write my list item, which is li. So I'm going to give them a font size of 1 rem, and I'm going to give them a font width, and I'm going to make it to be bold, which by default 700 is bold. And after giving it a font width of to be bold, for now that's all I want for my text here. Now I'm going to target my buttons, which is my sign in and sign out button. So I'm going to write nav. I'm going to write button here, and I'm going to give it a padding because I want a little bit of space. A padding of 5 pixels top and bottom, and 10 pixels left and right. If I save now, I'm going to be having a little bit of space. And for my navigation here, one thing I forgot to give it is to give it a padding here, because everything now is talking each other. So I'm going to come to my navigation here and give it a padding here, and I'm going to give it a 10 pixel and 25 pixel. Now everything is looking a little bit better. So let me come back to this my button here. As I said earlier, I'm going to make it a background color of blue. A background color of blue. Yes, so now I'm having a background color of blue, and I'm going to make a border to be long because I'm seeing a little bit of border appearing. I'm going to make the border to be long. Now my border is gone. I'm going to now give a border radius of 10 pixels. If I open it in a bigger page now, this is actually what we are having here. I'm having a border radius of 10 pixels here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the font width to be bold. After making it to be bold, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a box shadow. So I'm going to write box shadow here. A box shadow, 0 space top and bottom, 0 space left and right, and 5 pixel, then 5 pixel blood and 3 pixel to start from, and I'm going to make the color to be gray. Now we are having this kind of box shadow, but in this case I'm going to make it to be inset. I want it box shadow to be inside the button, not outside the button. So I'm going to insert inset here. Now my box shadow is inside my button, not more outside. So apart from that, I'm going to make a cursor to be pointer. I want to make when I hover on it, a finger should appear. So I'm going to write cursor of pointer. So at the moment I hover now, I'm having a finger that is appearing on it. So I want when I hover on it, I want some changes to happen. So I'm going to say nav here and target my button. So and after targeting my button, I'm going to write hover. I'm going to write hover here. I want to drop the opacity to 0.5. So when I hover here, the opacity is dropping. So by dropping a little bit, so let me just make it 0.8. Yeah, this is a little bit good. So now what I'm going to do now is target my logo here of Code Dev Academy. So I'm going to let me shift this a little bit so you can actually see the logo here. Now this is my logo here. I gave it a class name of logo. If you remember here in my HTML, I gave it a class name of logo. So I'm going to come here and put dot logo, and I'm just going to make the font width to be bold. I believe that's all I'm going to do for my bold. So what I'm going to do now next is to write another div here, which is going to be my body now, because I want to put some content inside. So I'm going to put dot content here, and I save. Now I have a div with a class name of content. So within this content, I'm going to create a h1, and I'm going to write Code Dev Academy inside, and I'm going to create a paragraph here. Within this paragraph, I'm going to insert a content here of let's explore the world of web development together and build the web together. So that's all I have for this my paragraph here. So now what next is to create a button here. A button. One is going to be in, and I'm going to copy it, save, and one is going to be out. So that's all we have for our HTML right now. So let's go back. As you can see here, it is appearing by this side of our page here. So let me adjust this and let me take this back to where it's supposed to be. Okay, now this is what we are having here. So now after having this my content, I'm going to head back to my style sheet here, and I'm going to target my hero. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a text align of center, and I'm going to make a margin to 140 pixel top, and for the left it's just going to be 0. And I'm going to make a color of the text. I want it to be white. Now this is actually what we're having here. Of hero, let me check something. Okay, that's a mistake here. It's supposed to be content. Now I'm having my text to be centered on my page. So what I'm going to do now is target my h1, which is my text of Code Dev here. So I'm going to write dot content. Then I'm going to write h1. So the first thing I'm going to do for this my h1, I'm going to change the size, the font size. font size to be 4 rem. Now I'm having a big text. After changing the font size to be 4 rem, I want to make a text shadow. A text shadow of 4 pixel top and bottom, 8 pixel left and right, and 15 pixel blood, and a color of green. Now this is actually what we're having here for my text shadow. So I believe that's all for my each one. Now I'm going to target my paragraph. So I'm going to write dot content. I'm going to target my paragraph. So for this my paragraph, I'm going to change the font size also. The font size to be 1.5 rem. The font size to be 1.5 rem, and we need a line height of 20 pixels. Line height of 20 pixels. So let's make it to be 40. So if I open it in a bigger page, this is actually what we're having here. Let's explore the world of web development. So what next? I'm going to target my buttons, in and out buttons. But for the font size, I'm going to reduce the font size. I'm going to take it 1 rem. Okay, now it's a little bit better now. So now I'm going to target my buttons here. So I'm going to write content. I'm going to target my buttons. So the first thing I'm going to do for my buttons, I'm going to give them a padding of 10 pixel top and bottom, and 55 pixel left and right, because I want to be having a big buttons here. So after giving it a padding, what I'm going to do now is to give it a margin of top. A margin top of 20 pixel. When I save now, I'm going to be having 20 pixel space on the bottom. So I'm going to be giving it a background color now, and I just want the color to be pure red. And what I've given it, I'm going to make the border to be none, because the border is appearing and I don't want it to appear, so I'm going to make the border to be none. Now the border is gone. So after making the border to be none, I'm also going to give it a border radius, because I want the edges to be a little bit curved. So I'm going to give border radius of, let's say, 5 pixel. Yes, it's not bad having it to be 5 pixel. So I'm going to make the font size of this my in and out. So I'm going to make the font weight to be bold, because I want to be seeing bold font. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And after that, I'm going to make the color to be white, to be having a white color, just like this. And yeah, and I want, when I hover on it, I want a finger to appear on the button. So I'm going to make a cursor to be pointer. Now when I hover on it, I'm going to be having a finger pointing at the buttons. But if I point it, nothing is happening. So that's where I'm going to make a hover. So I want, when I hover on it, I want some changes to happen. So I'm going to write my content here. Content, I'm going to target my buttons. Then I'm going to write hover. So when I hover on it, I want the opacity to drop. So I'm going to drop the opacity to, let's say, 0.8. And let's see how it's going to be. So when I hover here, the opacity is dropping to 0.8. So let me just make it to be 0.9. I don't want it to drop a little bit. So yeah, we're having a little bit of changes here when I'm hovering on it. So now, as simple as that, now this is the result we're having. We're having a logo, we're having some text, we're having some buttons here and some text here. And this video is helpful. Please like this video, and if you want to join us in exploring the world of CSS, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's build the web together. See you in my next video.